ZvZ series thus far. Hopefully game number 3 will not disappoint. The Muslim, please introduce our first player.
So, spawning over in the bottom right of Jaedong Station, we have our Red Zerg Axioms Impact.
And in the top left, from Team Evil Geniuses, it is Jaedong. I can feel that in my bones, Ben.
That was good. I cannot compete with that.
Thank you. That's okay. Nobody can compete with Jaedong except for the players that have been competing with him so far. It is game 3 in this shallow best of 3. Jaedong and Impact looking to move on. They will play the winner of either Innovation or Life. What a hell of a series that's going to be, by the way. Life has been on an absolute tear, and Innovation has been chuckling himself to a confident victory. He looked at the 8 guys, well, the 7 other guys, rather, in the round of 8 and said, yeah, I got this one.
Pretty easy.
I got this.
And he's a man that so far stood by his word. He took out Bunny and made him look, you know, just on a completely different level. And here again, in this game, we have Impacts going for a pretty safe build with it.
This is so funny.
First against a hatch first by Jaedong.
Jaedong is that guy that'll bluff you 3 times in a row, and every time you look into him, you fall deeper into his mahogany eyes and his musk. He is not afraid. I mean, game number 1, we've been harping on this. He was so far behind based on builds, but here, game number 2 and now 3, it's not the biggest of advantages, but yes, this is the build you would rather have. You do not want to be going 15 spawning pool. If you pulled all the Zergs, they'd be like, I'd love to go hatch first. Is that okay? Can I do that?
They really would. And last game, we saw these builds play out, but Impact sacrificed those 6 lings very early on, which could have, well, 2 of them could have been drones instead. So there are a few things that didn't go in Impact's favor. Let's see if he remedies that this game.
He did. He learned this time. Now, of course, in his defense, there's a map difference here. On this map, the Overlord, as you can see, is getting a hell of a scout. It needs to be a little bit careful about going too far in there. It'll die to a queen. But otherwise, it sees everything already. So the 6 lings would serve even less of a purpose here. You know, there's just no reason to do it. 2 queens now start for Jaedong. And in doing so, he's actually made pure drones. If you look at the harvester count, if you look at the supply, very close to mirror images. In fact, for right now, as I say that, it equals perfectly. One advantage that we can talk about, at least on paper, and yes, Impact will take the gas here, Jaedong has speed already started. That's going to give him some pretty strong map control.
Certainly will. Speedlings are so much better than slowlings. Not just because, well, they're faster, obviously, but the amount of damage that they can deal against slowlings, they just wrap around them that much faster. And you have to sacrifice so much ground if you're the slowling player. We do see Impact piling out quite a few queens here. There's going to be up to 4 queens pretty soon. So creep spread will be possible. Defense is very, very good with that amount of queens. Yeah. And yeah, Jaedong running in with a couple of lings here is going to scout.
Really fast third, by the way.
Nice drone block on those lings. They do not get the chance to run ahead, so Impact playing smart there. Jaedong taking full advantage of having speed much earlier by getting this 3rd base.
Yeah, that's a new form of pressure, and Impact sees this right from the beginning, so that's good news for Impact fans. But before this game boils over into ultimate aggression, I do want to say, by the way, we were remiss to mention this. These 4 players are also going to be re-invited to the DreamHack Grand Final, excuse me as I stammer that out, at the end of the year, and the top 4 players get to go. So that's pretty cool. We're going to see more Impact, more Life, more Innovation, and more Jaedong. And anytime you can see more Dong, you're doing it right.
Yes, you are.
And I can say that because his name is Jaedong.
Jaedong, so good. Impact's playing pretty smart this game. 2 Evo chambers, just playing defensive, making a wall here with the spine crawler that he created earlier.
Yep.
The drone count is 35 to 31 in favor of Jaedong. Lots of lings being made here for Impact over the later speed.
It's interesting. He actually walked out 2 queens to Muslim to push out any potential overlords that would be scouting this otherwise. And mission accomplished so far. So a lot of lings coming out. These Evo chambers, of course, not being used, although there is a lair. Actually, is there? Let me confirm that. No, I misplaced my eyeballs. He has
so many lings being made in control.
Yeah.
Look at these. They're all gathering at the top of the ramp. They cannot be scouted by overlords. These Impact's done a very good job of just saying, hey, you shall not pass. With the 2 queens at the front, the spine crawler, double Evos. Jaedong doesn't know if they're working or not.
No.
With this, in fact, they are going to go for Roaches. So Impact, he's not saying, hey, I'm going to all-in you. He's just getting ready for the next stage of the game.
Well, this is a pretty big thrust of units. Here we go. Jaedong has been waiting with his own supply, though. He actually has 7 Roaches in production.
Have they not been scouted yet by Jaedong? Does he not know they're coming?
No, he sees it. Yeah, he sees it.
Okay, he just sees them on the map now with a little bit of a blob.
This third's dead, okay? It is not going to survive. It's just a question of whether or not Jaedong can button up at the natural. And so far, the answer is no!
He
There's
is
a
in
hole
there.
in the wall, and roaches are starting to come out, but Jaedong's going to have to make the hold of his lifetime here.
He really is. These roaches are in a nice position right in the mineral line. More roaches do join the fray, but Impact is dealing so much damage to these lings right now.
A big part of the defense from roaches is going to be the angle, and unfortunately there's sandwiched up against that hatchery, so the Zerglings are getting the surface area they need. They've killed drones, they're killing the roaches, and they are starting to thin out in number, but damage done. 20 supply advantage for Impact, and it's continuing here.
Yeah, these lings just keep on running in here. The drones are in hold position, and they're not fighting against them. They'd just get murdered if they did try to fight against this many lings. And Jaedong, he's definitely been taken for a ride here by Impact. A 20 supply lead now.
Yep, and even some more lings swinging in here. Impact not letting up, as we can see on the map. Jaedong is aware of this. More and more lings coming across. So much damage being done. Still, the 20 supply differential is closed up just a little bit, but just by a hair. And more lings swinging over here. And again, Roach is looking to maybe plug up that hole. Jaedong looks to be the stronger force at that point in time right now. And actually the third wasn't killed behind this, so I do pardon myself here. If Jaedong can restabilize, there's going to be a chance for a really explosive production follow-up.
That was actually seen exceedingly late by Jaedong. His overlords on the map did not see those lings until it was too late, and then he tried to wall off, and those lings just ran right in. That was really clever play by Impact, and Jaedong definitely suffered the consequences.
Even more Zerglings coming out from Impact, and actually that's where Jaedong's going to look to perhaps stabilize, because those additional Zerglings are only going to feed into an already inferior count. So it's nice. They're not really a threat to Jaedong at this stance. And as you can see on the production tab, Jaedong is the one now making drones as well. And even Roach is coming out. So Impact actually might just continue to all-out go for it. That 20 supply advantage starting to actually swing in his favor again here. Impact,
again, playing really, really smart. During that semi-all-in kind of attack, he was trickling in drones and kept getting more of a lead, killing drones, adding on drones. The army was not dying quick enough. It was only 9 roaches out on the field. Yeah. 3 queens fell too, so Jaedong's larvae injects, everything got punished by Jaedong there, all from having his queen slightly out of position. You saw it trying to squeeze in, but it was literally a split second away.
It's really interesting. Jaedong is down in supply, but if you look at the production tab, they both have very similar upgrades. Both speed on the roaches, +2 timing attack, +2 range attack for those roaches, about the same. The Zergling skirmishes in the middle of the map are pretty equal as well. They seem to have kind of calmed down, just circling around out there. And Jaedong with that much faster third hatchery, is that going to be enough to close the gap? So far the answer's been no, but with more time, it could end up being the answer.
This was nice. A nice little Zergling surround by Jaedong, catching all those Zerglings of Impact. But this is what Jaedong should be fearing right now. This is a good group of roaches with 2 full energy queens, that is 8 transfusers, marching across the map right now.
Yeah, and at first glance, just pushing off overlords, but to your point, if they actually do go forth with this, those transfuses, as we've seen throughout the term, have been extremely powerful. Zergling counterattacking to make its way to the third, but again, that third has 2 drones on it. Impact is on a 1-track mind right now. He wants to attack and attack now. Jaedong, he has to know about this at this point in time. He's seeing a resupply of roaches making its way over there, and he is trying to get out as many roaches as he possibly can.
Wow, these 2 queens are getting caught in the middle now, but transfusers do keep them alive. And this roach count, it's definitely getting bigger. 33 roaches to the 16 of Jaedong. What is Jaedong going to do to hold this off?
Well, he's doing everything he can to get as many roaches out as possible. Again, he's going to have that small advantage of, well, he's resupplying a little bit quicker. Impact goes forward, sees that there's a similar number of roaches, but he does have the advantage for right now. Jaedong trying to get up here to get a concave against that army, but again, Impact with the more roaches right now. Queens of Jaedong's behind here trying to do what they can. It's going to be close.
This is so sad for Jaedong right now.
It's not going to be close.
It's not going to be close. This is a lot of roaches. Those full energy queens are joining the fray right now, throwing down a couple of transfusers. Jaedong's army is getting eaten up. 29 roaches to the 7 of Jaedong, 31 roaches to the 8 of Jaedong. He is getting massacred here. Jaedong falling behind so far in supply.
Impact is in coast mode right now. It's going to be very hard to see him lose this game from here. He has destroyed the third. He's even got the Roach Warren if he wants it, and that's going to cut Jaedong away from being able to produce the units he absolutely has to. Zergling's so bad here. 12 more roaches behind this. Impact is doing the victory dance. He has overtaken the Tyrant. He wants to play for a DreamHack Grand Final here.
Yeah, great play by Impact. He did not buckle under pressure. I feel really bad for Jaedong. He is a teammate of mine, but